Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to QuestJunkiesUK, and welcome, Raiders, a fair few, Mr. Hartley. Sir, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope that you had a fantastic session with Robert Hartley over there. I hope you had a good old session there, mates. It was good to catch you. I hope the rest of your monkeying around on Monkey Island did well, and all the best for that one-shot coming up this weekend. Monkey Island-themed one-shot, everyone, featuring Robert Hartley and Dead Aussie Gamer that I know of. I'm not sure who else is in the cast, but it's going to be fantastic. You can be rest assured of that. Okay, welcome to QuestJunkiesUK, everybody. We are here playing a pre-release sneak peek playthrough of the upcoming Chessenta's Tyranny from CZRPG. Oh, boom, nicely timed, thank you. OBS for the logo right there. A massive welcome to everybody. Hope you are doing very well and enjoying the start to the weekend here. And I hope you can stick around and hang out with us here as we are fomenting rebellion against the tyrannical state here in Meath, the city down on the lake here in the south of Chessenta, over on the southern shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars. A couple of thank yous, not least to Robert Hartley, of course, for the raid. And everyone, if you would like to jump into our giveaway today, !enter to jump into that, and you have the chance to win from CZRPG the fantastic one-shot location to put in your campaigns, or players on one-shot, the Cloud Caves, is what we're giving away today. And let me put that in there, !enter in the chat there. The giveaway is open, so jump on in there if you want the chance to win later on. And if you're not already, please consider giving us a follow, and you can jump into our followers Discord to get all of the information about what is going on. And I see already that some of you were enjoying that little intro to our campaign here. That is the work of the fabulous patch of QuestJunkiesUK. Do check them out if you would also like epic intros. There is their information over there. There's their link tree. Jump in there, get all of the information from all of their fantastic things there. Now, as we jump into things here, not only do we have that wonderful people over there at CZRPG, there's their Patreon, fantastic D&D stuff if you want to check it out. I think, is that working? Streamlabs. Streamlabs, wake up. Oh no, I spelled it wrong, that's why. That won't help. CZRPG, there we go, try again. Okay, yes, there's their Patreon there, if you want to jump on in there and see all the fantastic things they make. Very, very nice encounter design and all sorts of original things there you can get your teeth into for your D&D goodies. And as we are rolling into our game here, we are brought to you today with the wonderful folks at Nathrax 3D Minis and Phoenix Dice as well. And you can grab yourself some nice hefty discounts from their good old stores over on their respective websites, as well as CZRPG's Drive-Thru RPG catalogue. There are the various codes there. Please do jump on in and grab yourself some of that goodies at that nice price. Hey, Robert Jackson, Nuclean, good luck with the giveaway. Now, my friends, let's just say one last couple of thank yous to, first and foremost, the sounds that you are hearing brought to you by the wonderful people over at Sirenscape, down south over there, down Robert Hartley's way, but over the pond in Australia. There is a free 30-day trial if you want to go over there and get some great music and sound effects for your games as well. And finally, last but not least, the beautiful art for our characters here is brought to you by the wonderful people over at Solitine and Sephiroth there. Check out their Instagrams and Twitters, etc. Thank you for the follows, Storman, and welcome on in. If you would like to jump into our Discord, you can share your own projects as well. Tell us what's going on with you over there. And if you're looking to be a player or looking for players for your games, there's channels for that. Just to hang out and chat about D&D and other things. All sorts of nice chill out vibes over there. We'll send you the invite once we go offline. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, mate? Now, everyone, as we get things rolling here, let us remind ourselves what is going on here. Last time we were here in Meath, the party continued drinking and catching up and finding out just what is going on with everyone over at the tavern that they were hanging out at, asking all those deep and meaningful questions, finding out just what's going on in everyone's backstory. That's when Scuff's wild magic kicked off, and there was a bit of a ruckus, and the local Gendrix, the guardsmen of the city, were alarmed, to say the least, because arcane magic is banned here and punishable by death. So there was a chase that ensued through the streets of the town as they tried to escape. Arias and Luce caused a distraction, went in one direction. Scuff, Reese, and our missing friend today, Carolyn Sturgrove, were headed off in the other direction. There was all sorts of shenanigans going on. Carolyn's magic got a little out of control, and one of the Gendricks was killed in the pursuit. And as Scuff and Carolyn confronted each other about that, Reese caught up with them in disguise and bundled them all off into the sewers, out of the sight of the hunting guardsmen. And whilst they were down there, they discovered a community of kobolds is in the sewers. Perhaps something they can bring to their advantage later on. Then Arias and Luce were enjoying a raw fish supper over at a street-side cafe with an accordion playing drow, and just catching up and talking about their various concerns. Luce feeling the call of the Feywild, asking them, beckoning them to return, and Arias afeared of the wrath of Umberlee awaiting them beneath the waves. Hey, Belligar, how you doing? Welcome in. Now, they were chatting about that, but as they finished up their food and bought a rose for the sea elf, they made their way back to their hideaway at the house of the Dampier Phoenicus, and they all reunited there. And it was while they were there that Carolyn and Scuff had more words about what was going on with them and their various access to magic, and what that could entail for the group. And it led Carolyn to look inward and communicate inward with their telepathy, and with the help of their awakened spellbook, for the first time they made contact with the voice within. For Carolyn Sturgrove is a Kalashtar, and they spoke with their Kori, the symbiotic spirit that shares the Kalashtar's presence and body, and spoke with them for the first time about who they are and where they've come from, passed down through the mother and the grandmother's side of the family. And that is where we left things last time. Carolyn, seemingly in some kind of trance, locked in this inner voyage, unable to communicate with the outside, but seemingly safe and well. And the others in the household, thinking about everything that just happened, and how best to proceed, as their contact here, Charisse, warned them to lay low and keep out of trouble for a couple of days. Speaking of Carolyn Sturgrove, live from the Mediterranean. Hey, QuestJunkies. Hey, everybody. Lots of kind words in chat about your intro there, if you want to have a little self-congratulatory scroll up. Okay, so, everybody, let us meet the adventurers that we do have with us today. Luce, who are you in real life? Who are you playing? And where are they at?
I get to go? Cool.
Yep,
yes,
that's you.
I'm Emma. I'm playing Luce, who is an ambiguously fey druid. Likes to get into shenanigans. Now is starting to realise his situation's a bit dire. Enjoys fermenting. And by that, I mean rebellion, not kimchi.
Yes, not a big homebrew enthusiast. Okay, thank you. No. Next up, Scuff, my friend.
Hey, hello. I am Lama. I play Scuff, a human fighter who's been infected by a curse of wild magic that seems to surge within his body uncontrollably. He himself, a quite lawful and guardsman-like persona, but in a land where magic is illegal and magic surging through his body, such a life is not for him. So he finds himself instead traveling with less lawful characters.
Speaking of, pillars of society and upkeepers of the law, Reese.
I'm Aelin. I play Reese, the criminal.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I had it wrong.
Never gets old.
Never gets old.
A changeling bard who typically has a very tiefling appearance
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
when
sorry.
in private.
Yes.
In public,
All sorts.
all sorts. Yeah.
Much more than the DM can keep track of. Okay, thank you, my friends. So, we return to the House of Finicus, the house that Finicus built over on the west side of town. And it's only criminal if you get caught. It's the wise words in chat there. Reese is doing well at the moment. Okay, so we return to the house and to you with Carolyn deep in introspection upstairs. Scuff comes down into the parlor once more. Reese, you lock eyes.
Reese is gonna wait till Scuff is alone, in
Okay.
more of a private setting rather than in front of everybody else.
Okay. Luce, do they have the room?
Luce doesn't understand social cues in the moment and sits
La, la,
there,
la, la, la.
swinging his legs like la 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 la.
Yeah, Reese will wait till like Scuff goes to bed and then catch him then.
Okie doke.
It's fair. Scuff's gonna participate in the local, the normal shenanigans of evening. He's gonna seem much more distant for this evening. Like usually he yells at the planes at Luce's constant noises and weird shenanigans and stuff. But this time he's much more quiet about it, much more accepting of everything.
Okay.
Also, just a reminder that Luce has acquired a pot of alchemy fire.
Indeed. Yes, from your new Cobalt friends.
Yep.
All right.
I shake the bottle as if it's a fizzy drink.
I don't think they've given it to you yet.
Damn it, no.
They're
Reese
wise.
has given it to Luce as a
Never mind. I shake the bottle.
Luce. That's gonna make things explode, and we don't want to do that in the house.
Okay.
Because if we do it in the house, then we have to fix the house.
Thought about that too long.
Good move, house. But anyway. Oh, look, Arius is here.
Iris would like his chair back.
No!
Not my chair.
Hello. Okay. So, you are all gathered in this room here, Arius too, and you. Oh, hang on. Just do this. Haha, magic. Okay. Oh, you think you've got them trapped down there? Nope. They're off. Run away. Ha! You'll never catch me, copper. Arius disappears into the night. Charisse is with all of you, and I am just trying to grab a picture. Where did I put the pictures of her? I can't remember where I found them. I have a small one. Charisse, come here. Is that coming up? Ah, there she is. Okay, so yes, Charisse is there and with you all, and she. Ooh. Okay, she is standing over by a large table, which is kind of laying out with some documents and things, and she turns to you all. And she's like, well, as we have to lay low for a couple of days, then I think it is a good time to do some planning about what is necessary and what steps we should take next. Let us look at what we have discovered so far. And she runs through the information that you have managed to ascertain in your time in Mirth so far, and the various good things that you have going for you at the moment. You rescued the wizard Justice Thessalon, who will be a good ally. You identified some disgruntled Jedricks. There was Jetrius, who was not happy with the way the cookie seller was treated when she was arrested. Scuff noticed that. And then during the information gathering, Reese found 3 Jedricks talking about how they were unhappy with the state as it was. Radan, Tarnish, and Carmel over in the city there. Thanks to your rescue efforts and shenanigans going over there in the forts, you have a pretty decent idea of the fort's layout on the inside and the waste disposal chute out the side near the cliff, which was useful for escaping. You were given the map of ancient mage towers out in the Dassos, the forest beyond the walls of the city, which you got from Tamim, the old fella out in the slums. You discovered the Cobalt Enclave down in the sewers of the city, and Luce very efficiently ascertained the response times of the Jedricks by just pissing them off and seeing how fast they got angry.
Fast can you run?
Indeed.
Do you have an emergency contact?
Scuff helped find the good ways through the alleys and things to help you make a stealthy escape if needed. And you have ingratiated yourselves with the management of the Nearest Dormor Tavern thanks to Reese's table work last time. Hey, Mac, how you doing? As you are here and have all of that stuff laid out before you, Charisse says, well, before we get our rest, everyone please sleep on any ideas that you might have. Any ways that you would like to move forward. Of course, our main goal here is to oust the Jedricks and have the town for ourselves, where we can have it as a base of operations and safely operate out of here as we try and spread out towards the rest of the countryside. But the most difficult part of that is going to be taking the fort. Luce?
Kill all of them.
My ideas tend to be quite fluid, and I don't like waterbeds, so what should I sleep on?
Well, knowing how these Jedricks usually work, it can often be useful to take off the head of the snake, so to say. Take it to the leader first.
Yes. I think we need to identify those in charge. See any routes that...
Identify those in charge and behead them.
Behead them?
I don't
Scuff
think
behead, yes.
Scuff was being literal. Scuff?
No.
Won't know until we ask him. Scuff?
What I meant is take them out in some way, like capture them, make people dislike them, something to upset the
Status quo?
charge.
The heading's quite upsetting,
I would like to avoid murder if we can. But
but it's quick and efficient.
okay.
It causes too much heat, though. That's why we're going to have to stay down here. And she kind of
We
looks
could
up
do
in
it
the
somewhere
direction of
cold.
Carolyn's room.
Good connection. I could slip out, maybe start some sort of whisper campaign.
That sounds
work.
amazing.
Yes.
Start
yes, definitely.
turning people against whoever's in charge.
If we can cause unrest amongst the people and distrust of the leader, we might be able to cause the leadership. And while the leadership is going on, we might be able to take over control before the new leader
Seems
is in
like
place.
espionage.
Yeah.
I'm not good at espionage.
Well, we're laying low, so whispering is a good start. I've learnt that from Reese.
True. And you only have the knowledge of the courtyard and the rough kind of layout there. I have heard that the governor of the town in the City Hall building, which is also their residence, is in possession of blueprints of the building.
I can certainly help with that.
It's going to need some sort of stealthy approach. There's no way, even if you were able to convince him of our cause, there's no way he would give them to you. I'm afraid...
Do you know where the blueprints are kept?
In his office, I assume.
Safe?
More than... I'm not sure, to be honest. Sorry, I have not entered the room. But he won't be convinced or anything by any talk, because Sharla, who for chat is the tyrannical leader, Sharla has his son as a ward in the capital, which is
Okay, so
a double-edged
be
sword.
gentle with this one.
Yes, I mean, it's why he's against the state and angry at the state, but also why he won't do anything. His daughter is here. His daughter's in charge of things up at the temple on the hilltop. I think.
Sure, as long as we just borrow it, there wouldn't be much of a problem. We can make a copy of it.
Yes. If even if you're able to do that and return it without being noticed, that'd be unbelievable.
I don't see why not.
Loose, yes.
What is the name and position of this guy who has his child kidnapped, so that I can write it in my notes?
The Lord is
Lord.
Balashi Nira.
Balashi Nira. Okay. Thank you.
He is that rather strapping fellow in the introduction. With Charlotte. Sorry, with Jadis. There's the two of them with the sword where the sword comes down.
Fellow.
Hey Jay, how you doing, my friend?
Him, ha.
I saw your message, Jay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I need to talk with you about that. Sorry, excuse me. Lord Cassandra, everybody. Now. That was in character.
Yeah.
And real life. Okay. So, hey, Lucy, how you doing, mate? So you are charged with this mission. Charisse goes on. Of course, there are other things that we could do. If we could make some allies. If you can discover some folks in the town that are particularly against the state, that would be open to joining us and helping us in our cause.
We could intimidate them into joining our cause.
Well, I am good at making friends, so I'd rather do the friendship part if Aris wants to do the intimidation part.
I can do that.
To my knowledge, for what I remember, the leader of the arena did not seem very appreciative of the leadership here.
The gladiatorial school?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And
Aim of good Jedrick, bad Jedrick.
I still don't understand why we don't just kill them all, but
So not in an underwater.
Because then they'd all be dead.
prison cult.
they can't help us at all if they're dead.
Yeah.
but they also can't trouble us if they're dead.
We're not looking for people who are going to trouble us. We're looking for allies. We
Oh.
can't do
Yeah,
this
I
on
can't
our
help
own.
them.
Well, then I hope you can protect the others while they're doing that instead. How about that?
He stands in front of Luce. I can do that.
Okay, wait, okay.
With a due sense of trepidation. Yes, Luce.
Yeah, so I have another idea. If we want allies, I think we should dress up really, really cool and sit in like a cool kids table, because then people will feel like they're missing out on whatever we have to offer. And so we build up this idea that we're really like exclusive, and that'll drive people towards us. That's what it was like at my school. I always watched those people from a distance and thought they were cool.
So then how would you have any idea how to dress cool or act cool?
I watched them very closely and
My
stole some of
point-
their socks.
My point exactly.
Oh,
Sorry, that was mean.
core memory unlocked. I'm fine, but the idea still stands. It worked for them. It could work for us. Or we could start a club,
We are kind of a club.
a fishing society.
We can do that.
Charlotte, no, you're not Charlotte. Therese, I can see you losing a lot of hope as the more that we talk, but I assure you, I can't really assure you of anything. I have no skills to back this up, but I have
Do not
great
worry.
ideas.
The evidence of your actions to this date are buying you a lot of leeway.
Well,
I think maybe what Luce means is that we're very new at this and might need a little extra guidance. Training wheels.
I'm still sad they didn't give me a trident.
I still use my training wheels when I go swimming.
You don't have wheels when you go swimming.
Water wings.
What are you going to do if someone pops those?
Die.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, you need to practice swimming and I need a trident.
Priorities. Let's go do that.
I mean, there may be some fishing ones, but
I can do that.
nothing too hefty. Although, I mean, it would be very, useful. Hey, Belliger, thank you. Belliger with the inspiration for Arias.
Yay!
Consider yourself
Give me
inspired.
inspiration so I can get some big fish.
And that is everyone stocked up on inspiration. Thank you, everybody. Please
Wait.
do not
Before we
skimp
do
on your
swimming
dream pies, my friends.
We have bigger fish to fry.
Haha. No, don't fry them.
No!
Don't fry them, he won't eat them.
To flay. Reese,
He does like this kind of
yeah. I think you're the one who can call the shots on this. Scuff, I think you're also competent. I am going to step back and brainstorm some more ideas.
You didn't say I was competent.
I think you're very good at intimidating people.
Well,
How could I
also
survive
keep
this
in mind that
until-
we need to continue planning while we lie low.
Indeed.
Well, what?
Lie low. Whispering. That's what it means.
No.
Well,
Keeping a low profile, staying in the house or staying disguised.
I have a couple of suggestions for allies. In this
Oh.
town itself.
Low.
Below the town, there's kobolds in the sewers.
I'm sorry.
We could make friends with the kobolds in the sewers.
Yes, I can assure you, nobody here is aware of their presence. How did you find them?
We went through the sewers.
Ah, good idea. So you do caves, you do sewers.
There are also
Also the
generics
temple.
that don't like the current zone system. I'm sure if we cause an uproar, they will stand with us.
Good. That's good to know. Another couple
Arius
of
said there was a temple as well under the water off the coast, which might be worth investigating.
I'm not going back.
Okay.
A what?
A temple to Uber,
Oh,
Umberly.
That's the one.
oh dear.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of way shrines to her on the docks too. Everyone pays their respects before going on the water for any length of time.
Yeah. But nothing underwater that you know of?
I wouldn't know. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So we can give you the location because we saw it and we were attacked there by Sahuagin.
Something to stay clear of then.
In case you don't think we should go and check it out.
I think that, Luce, if you wanted to make friends that aren't in the house, you could maybe investigate the sewers. with the kobolds.
Okay. But Arius, do you want to go in the sewers?
No.
Okay. Does
Fair.
anybody
But-
want to come with me?
But Arius doesn't want to go anywhere, to be fair.
That's so unfair. I've told you plenty of times I want to go get a trident, and no one is listening to me.
Well, the tridents that you're looking at are blunted. However, maybe
Blunt
if
now,
we figured
not
out
when I'm
how
done.
to get. Oh, fair enough.
I like to sharpen my teeth on them.
Also,
Maybe Reese can help.
a couple of folks in the town's borders itself, the farmers here, the cattle and sheep farmers, that is another potential source of weapons. If not a trident, Arius, a pitchfork, perhaps?
Pitchfork.
Yeah.
Trident of the land?
Do you want to help me
Seeing
steal a
how-
pitchfork?
Seeing
Okay.
how there seems to be, if not a famine, at least a shortage of food, some of them might even assist us in other ways.
Well, if the rumours are true, the farmers are very dissatisfied as the state bought both of their farms.
We can use this to our advantage.
They would perhaps be useful people to know.
Don't know how I'll get out of town before someone sees me, though.
Get out of town? What do you mean?
Yeah, the farms are on the outside.
Oh no,
The,
these two are within the walls.
Oh.
Yes,
I can
they're-
also put a bag over your head
That's a really good idea. I think you should do that right now.
if it helps.
That'll definitely stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
People will just think you're disfigured or ugly.
Hmm,
And that's better?
I think
What's wrong with that?
at the moment that would be too much suspicion. The
The bag on your head, Luce.
the Jedricks have put a curfew in place while the alert is high at the moment, but that will only last a short time before they assume whoever it was has fled the town.
Isn't it just Caroline who murdered someone? I mean, can we walk around?
Yeah, we were fine. We were just having lunch.
Yeah, I haven't killed anyone yet. It's a good day for me.
Good, congratulations.
If you obtain one of these tridents for you, I could probably stay here and sharpen it if you needed to. We were taught in the ways of sharpening our weapons and maintaining a sharp edge during my guardsmanship.
Good. You go steal one?
Do you guys want to go get some weapons? We might be able to rouse the farmers
You could bring them here.
into fermenting.
Or behead them?
No, we're not. No, they're not the cause of the issue. Don't behead them.
But they'll ferment better if you behead them. Get the juices. No.
We don't have nearly enough salt for that.
It's a really good point. Thank you, Luce.
So
Why is everyone looking like that?
the question is, what comes first? Look, let the heat die down. Have a look at the Baron's mansion, the city hall. See what you need to see, and we can go from there.
And on the way, I can write a few rumors.
Indeed. So, is there anything that you would like to do during the couple of days that you have to kind of chill?
I would like to prep some pranks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't leave the house. Sure. Maybe questioning that to Reese.
I think you two are okay because you went in a separate direction.
Nice.
It will be stuff and Sterling.
Yeah. Yeah, and Reese can
Getting started.
just change.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
Scuff, what would you like to do under house arrest
Crispy
here?
baby.
Yeah.
He would like to, as I said, if they're able to acquire any weapons or anything, he would like to start working on the arsenal for a revolution.
Okay. Yep. So it's been suggested that yes, if you get some of the training stuff from the what did we call it? I can't remember. It was the Chromatic Colosseum, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And the farming implements was the other option, and perhaps fishing gear if there's any spear fishes is another option. Now,
I will definitely try and find a pitchfork to buy for Arius so that he doesn't have to endanger himself stealing one, if I can.
okay.
He's gonna bring Scuff back bones to sharpen into little knives.
Shivs.
I mean,
I love that.
Shivs are a thing. That's fine.
Then we go out one day with nothing, and we come back
Good bones.
with bones, a pitchfork, and
Just-
Luke definitely has googly eyes and a
Open
He
your
does
cloak.
not tell you where he got bones.
Just open your cloak. It's just blades.
blade.
Would he, while they're out
Captain.
and you can just get the weapons, would he be able to fashion almost like a weapon stand out of one of the cupboards?
Sure.
Breaking Fennicus's cupboards.
He
You
doesn't,
didn't want this, did you?
he doesn't care about furniture. Although he was very happy with the carpentry sets that you brought back. Who's that? 100 bits for blades. Thank you, Sunicel.
I will
Right.
also start learning how to make balloon animals.
Arius will pop them. You have to make them out of really sturdy stuff if they're gonna last loose.
Or this is a new prank idea. Make a balloon animal for a small child and pop it in their face.
I like it.
Just Charlie. Oh, so me. Okay.
Nice.
Now, at the end of this conversation, Charisse leaves. I'm not sure if she's optimistic or worried. And the end of the evening comes. As Scuff retires, Reese catches up with them in the corridor.
Hey, mind if I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And like Reese kind of just leads him into like a room so that, you know, eavesdroppers.
Yep.
He knows that's a thing because he does it.
Fair.
Hey, what's up?
I just wanted to say that you're not the only one with that fear, you know, and if you don't learn some sort of control over that, it's gonna come true.
What do you mean?
Your fear of hurting the people that you care about.
Who are you afraid of hurting? And how?
My family. It only takes one little screw up.
You screw up? How would they be affected by it?
We're a family of criminals. I mean, catch one link, catch quite a few.
I have to get that. You'd probably be made to sell them out, or at least tortured into it. I've seen some of the horrible things people do.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you did let the others know. I managed to dodge the question in the drinking game.
Yeah. I'm glad you told me. I'll do what
Trust
I
is
can.
difficult, but I know you're an honorable man. So,
And I know you're probably not. But I'll still protect you for whatever that's worth.
Thank you.
And
I'll do
even
the
if
same.
things go sour, if you for some reason get captured or anything, as long as we live, we will never let you stay there. Whatever happens.
Whatever happens. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. You too.
And he goes to bed.
Scuff does the same with a slight questioning of motives.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to insight Reese on that, feel free.
Nah, he's gonna take it as it is, and then just have some more questions of like, why though? But she will leave.
Okay. As all of you take a moment and stop after the frenetic end to the day, ideas, possibilities swirling in your minds, you find sleep and rest, and are able to take the benefits of a long rest. So, the next day finds you all in the house here. Scuff starts to do some carpentry work. Start preparing one of the rooms, perhaps, for storing some goods.
Making armor.
Mm-hmm. And Phenicus helps you also create something to kind of disguise the door. And it's a room that's like on the interior of the house. It has like no windows outside.
That's smart. Good.
And Luce, Arius,
Hello.
what would you like to try your hand at today?
Right. We have a long list.
Do we?
Yeah, needs to get you a. Have we had the time pass, or are we playing it out a little bit? Just check.
I think if there's anything that you'd like to do during the time, because I think because Luce, Arius, and Reese are able to move around. You could do something.
Gotcha. Right, then I will get Luce. Who's me? I'll get Arius, and I will get Reese, and I'll look over at Scuff, and I'll say, "Look, see, I told you, we're the cool kids now. You want to join us, but you can't." That was a bit mean.
I don't think a cool kid would say that.
Oh my god.
Definitely
Okay.
looks at
Right.
me.
Anyway. Well, guys, why don't we all go out and get supplies, and we'll get you a pitchfork. That way you don't have to steal it.
Stealing?
Fine.
All in favour?
Sure.
Yay! We will go out on the town. Bye,
Okay.
Scarf. Bye.
Going out on the town implies fun, and not stealing implies not fun.
I'll be there. And so will Reese. How could it not be fun? Also, Reese is a criminal, so maybe you will steal something. I just won't
Reese
notice.
is the best mannered criminal I've ever encountered.
Reese, what do you say to that?
That wasn't a
That's
compliment.
probably fair.
Okay, we will go out on the town.
Gentleman thief.
Gentlemen, thief.
Okay. You head out into the streets, and as the people are bustling this way and that, you do see that there is an increased Jedrick presence after the troubles of the evening before, especially as one of their own was unfortunately killed. But you know, there aren't checkpoints or anything like that. It's just keeping an eye out.
It looks like there's an increased Jedrick presence, probably because that guy was absolutely nerfed yesterday.
Indeed.
Reese has got like a notepad out. He's just taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
Iris looks completely oblivious.
Okay. I would like to make a perception check and see if I can find anywhere selling a trident or otherwise similar implement.
Okay, well, there's two ways to go. Did you want to go the spearfishing kind of route or the farm implements route?
Spearfishing.
Spearfishing.
They're more streamlined.
I'm also very good with fishing tools and would be able to help advise you.
I don't think you could lift a trident if you tried.
I never said I was an expert in lifting them. I'm an expert in looking at them.
That makes you a bit useless.
Wow, my parents said the same thing. No.
Alright, let's go.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we go, can I roll a perception check to kind of eavesdrop on any of like news that might be going on?
Yes.
Any of the chatter?
Yeah, please give me a perception check.
22.
Excellent. So, keeping your ears open as you move through the streets towards the dock side, you pick up. I mean, a lot of people are talking about the incident. Arcanists here in Meth. Maybe it was that one that escaped being burnt alive. And you hear various people talking about that. The general feel of it is more of kind of excited interest as opposed to, it's not outrage. The general populace doesn't really hold the official line. I mean, especially here in Meth, the reason Charisse chose Meth is because it is fairly anti-state already, just generally speaking. And you also hear people still grumbling about the lack of feasts with the festival that has just finished.
As we're passing, if Reese can kind of like essentially whisper in like just little like comments to bolster the like dissent and excitement about possible arcanists.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check to see how well that goes.
Okay. Alright. That is pretty good. That is a 19.
Excellent. Okay. You are able to find, groups of just like general people talking together where, which wouldn't be strange for a stranger just to add themselves to and say things. Talk up the relevant speaking points. Okay. What kind of parts of it do you elaborate on and like try and amplify?
Rather than like specific like talking points, more like trying to affect the mood.
Okay. In what way?
Echoing, certain sentiments like, oh yeah, oh that's so cool. Did you get to see any of that? Or the wow, I really can't believe that they would like shirk their governmental duties.
Okay.
I've heard that that some of them are on the take, or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. You are able to find some key groups and influence the mood of them. Absolutely. Nice. Lucy, you were about to say so?
Yes, I want to go. So I did a roll of 15 for my spearfishing equipment check perception. And I would also, whilst we're kind of looking around, like to lean over to Reese. I'd like to lean over to Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, gotta get my charger cable. And ask at a relatively average to loud voice next to him as he's sort of presenting these whispers to the crowd. So is this a whisper campaign? How does it work?
Reese just pats Luce on the back and it's just like kind of just steers him into just away from the crowd. It just be like, whispering is part of the whispering part. Just
but what do we
hear
say?
Something that you like the sound of, mimic it.
You like
Doesn't have to be perfectly. Just take the energy.
What do you like the sound of?
Did you just mimic me?
Yeah. Your voice is like a song.
I have never had anyone say that in my entire life.
Smooth timber. So is that right? Am I doing it right?
Kind of.
Okay, but wait, what's if I just mimic what everyone's saying, they're just gonna look at me like I'm really silly, and I'm very not silly.
Well, I mean, it's less about mimicking what they sound like and more their energy, their emotions. So if like it's like you're being a cheerleader for them, you know?
Get you some pom-poms.
I already have pom-poms. I know how to make them. Okay. And the purpose of this
is providing positive reinforcement for the emotions you want them to produce.
I heard positive reinforcement doesn't work. At least.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
Okay, so I am going to go up to people and I am going to charm them with my smooth talking and my whispers and mimic them. And through that process, they will do what I want.
That seems doable.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your help, Reese. I was about to be Luce. Thank you for your help, Reese.
Bye,
Reese.
I'm the DM, and I'm concerned that Therese is just going to assassinate Luce at some point.
That's okay.
If
That's
Therese
just
goes
a
to
mood.
Luce, Iris will go to Therese.
It's all just fun. According to
One
character.
single character thinks it's fun.
One single character.
Okay, so that happens as you make your way towards number 25 there on the map, which is the main docks area, known as the Limani. And over in that direction there, as you make your way over there, you see it's bustling with fisherfolk and dock workers alike. They receive boats and vessels from all around the lake, you know, from the other towns that are scattered around the shores, in and out of the port all day, and it is a very busy place. And the various docks are labelled A for Aproviathus. Sorry, all this kind of Greek stuff here. It's all Greek to me, as they say. With the numbers 1 through 7 for the various docks, and it is. Let's have a look here. They receive boats from towns and villages around Lake Mithrir, in addition to housing the village's own fishing boats. And it's bustling with both fishermen and dock workers, who load and unload the goods from the boats and come and go. And there are warehouses and things around there as well. So, Luce, with your perception check there, you have discovered somewhere that does have fishing implements. Now, there indeed. The next challenge and either of you can do this. It will be a persuasion check with the
I
DC
can
depending on what
do
is said, and one of you can give the help action.
I will assist.
Okay.
Aria.
Is this just Arius and Luce?
Well, Arius probably has like the most like knowledge about fish and catching fish and things, so could probably sell it the best, because you have to prove that you are just you're buying for what because they do. As I said, the ownership of weapons and things is entirely prohibited. So it's not just an easy thing just to walk up and grab something that could be used for.
And I can help
nefarious
my
things.
parents for fishing.
Oh, of course, that too.
Okay,
Yes.
La 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 la.
Here we go.
Okay.
And while they're doing this, Reese is gonna go to like the city hall and
Abandoned.
stalk it a little bit.
Well,
Towards the
actually,
building.
Reese, I've got good news. You could probably do that from the. Actually, this is something Scuff could be doing as well, so we can return to Scuff, because I just actually double checked, and the Baron's residence and city hall is number 23, right next to Fennicus's.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
Which
nice.
is nice. It was not on purpose. I chose Fennicus's place because it was near the gate, but that works nicely. So, you arrive. Now, Luce, Arius,
Hi.
there is one small problem.
Oh.
As you push through the door into this cool and shady interior of this fishing ware and dock supplies shop, a pig comes rushing by.
Not ideal.
Thank you, Soundscape. As you push into the shop, you see behind the counter the squinting eye and bushy beard of an old, weathered sailor who, last you saw, you pushed him into the lake. It's like, "Arr! You tourists! You tourists are still here!"
Yeah.
Hi.
What do you want?
We are here to purchase fishing equipment.
Fishing equipment.
Oh, I see the tale of old Bitey got your interest.
Very captivating.
Really, really captivating. You spoke with such confidence and gusto.
Eloquence is the word that I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, sorry that I pushed you into the lake.
He has impulse control issues.
I really do. Also, it was entertaining.
At least he's honest.
narrows his eyes. I suppose it was my birth night.
Yeah, you're a sprightly young fella. Taking a dip must be nothing for you.
I took a dip for the first 100 years of my life, and it was quite refreshing.
Well, I'll tell you something. If you credit old Tassos when you tell tales of catching old Bitey,
Yeah.
we'll call it quits.
Old Tassos was the one who took us.
Make your mind up, is it old Tassos
The
or
glory
sprightly
of
Tassos?
Old Bitey. Sprightly Tassos.
Sprightly Tassos.
Okay.
No older than 80.
Too human?
I stopped counting about 65.
Okay.
Thought I got that right.
Okay, so.
I'm older than him.
Sorry for not being an elf.
Yeah, bit of a shame, really.
Yeah, I'm fine. Do you
Life is
breathe through
fine.
those ears?
No.
No, sorry, I'm just
I
saying.
breathe through these, and he like stretches his gills across his neck.
Oh, dear God, man.
Are they some sort of stabilizing or steering mechanism. They're very, very dorsal fin-esque.
You are talking to me as if you think I am someone who went to school.
I'm saying you're a fine specimen and quite the catch yourself.
He's not a specimen. He's Arius.
Are you trying to eat me?
No. No. I'm a fishman myself. You know.
Anyway, can we have the trident, please? And I'll forget the casual cannibalism-esque comment.
Just do your shopping and get out there. Old Bite ain't gonna catch himself.
Yeah, Arius would look for the sharpest, scariest-looking trident that he can find.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
With advantage. With for the know-how that you and Luce have.
Natural 20.
Hey!
So, natural 20.
Fantastic. Okay, if you got them, folks, let those phoenixes fly. Okay. I think he will, in that case, not charge you the tourist rate, which was going to be the plan. Let's see here. Players handbook. There we go. Skip over here and get ourselves a bit of a price on this. Weapons.
Arius has given most of his money away.
Let's have a look here. Okay, so yes, he does sell it at the straight price, which is it's a martial one. Hey, I'm glad. A martial one is 5 gold pieces. So I'll say it's for a fishing one, it's 3.
I have no money.
I have. Wait, so John, do I get my starting money?
Everyone has. Well, no, because you were started in a prison.
Reese did give Luce 10 gold a bit ago. So.
Okay.
You did, yes. Okay. I will front the price of this weapon. Now, John, may I please use my fishing expertise?
May I suggest that when you're out and about and in shops and things, you don't refer to them as weapons?
I will, but excuse me.
Weapon against fish.
I'll fund the purchase of this fishing
I'm waging
implement.
war against fish, as my colleague said.
No, he's about to take his
Can I just clarify? I would like to use my fishing expertise to discern whether or not this is a fair price.
Okay, yeah, I mean that was in the check that was made. It was a natural 20, if you heard.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
good.
so it's all
Right,
good.
then I will pay for it.
Okay, so minus 3.
Sugar Daddy Luce.
Minus 3 gold there, please.
Yep.
And
Alright,
because the
let's
persuasion check was so good, Arius, sprightly Tassos, leans in. Old Sprightly leans in and he's like, "Now then, young elf, who's older than me, let me show you something that I hold dear to my heart." And he pulls out this small wooden case, like a small box with a clasp, like a brass clasp on it, and he ceremoniously flicks it open. And behold! And he opens up the wooden box, and inside, on kind of cushioned material, there is a single, 1-inch square fish scale.
What?
I have it on good authority that this belongs to Old Bitey themselves.
Can I nature check the scale?
Sure.
Not for you. 14.
14? Okay. It is clearly from a beast bigger than any freshwater fish you've ever heard of.
Is he giving it to me?
Oh, no. Just showing you.
Iris looks like he was about to put it in his mouth.
I see a side quest approaching at some point, but we have to go get this.
What are you talking about? If they're not allied with you, the whole campaign's done for.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, if who's not allied with us, the whole campaign's done for?
Old Bitey.
Oh, biting.
I'll bite you. Oh shit, yeah.
It's the aquatic attack force you require.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. This adventure goes one of two ways. You ally with Old Bitey and defend the watery parts of this world, or Suhagwin take over the entire continent. What are you gonna do?
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
Uh-oh.
Sir, I would like to enlist you on a mission. Sorry, I would like to enlist you on a mission.
My mission days are quite past me, I fear.
No, they're not, I assure you. I'm whispering, by the way.
No.
I can hear. I'm having to lean in very close because my ears aren't what they used to be neither.
Yeah, so, okay, basically, we are part of a pod. The people's pod, you could say.
I was going to say, you don't look like
And-
dolphins.
No, we're really not. He could be related to some, but anyway,
That's just
wrong.
fischist.
Yes, I know. Okay.
Distant
But-
cousins at best.
Mammalist, fischist. I mean, there's kind of a crossover because I look much more like a shark and you're talking about dolphins, so.
It's funny you
Nick.
say fischist because we're actually about to defeat some fascists. Sharla is. Am I saying?
Arius has already wandered away. He's trying to.
How do you feel about Sharla?
By the way, Arius, you can add tridents to your weapons. But
Thank you.
But
My
it-
mission is done. I'll now leave the campaign.
it does one less damage than a weapon trident because it's not designed for people. Hello, cat.
Hello, Cat.
Hello, cat.
How do you feel about Sharla?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh dear God. Might I tempt you with
I
a?
shall preempt this with the fact you do have a crystal,
Terrible.
just in case.
What did you say? Sorry.
You have a crystal. I'm just saying.
It's not. Sorry. It's a 15. I feel
15.
good about that.
Okay. He hobbles round the counter and walks past you. Opens the door and flips the sign to closed.
Goodness, Arius, we're getting somewhere.
Sharder, you say?
Yeah. Do we still need to whisper?
It would be helpful if you didn't.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll speak out loud. Having the strong forces and knowledge of someone who's gone up against Old Bitey would really be helpful to our cause. In an unrelated note, how do you feel about Sharla?
Well, I remember just how vibrant and affluent these docks were before she took over. The state-run fishing industry is gone to the nine hells.
I'm from a fishing family myself. I could probably tell you a similar story to many you've seen here.
He grabs your wrists.
Ah!
Indeed. Your hands are not as soft as your wits.
Okay, that was a double-edged
Fairly
sword.
accurate.
Fairly accurate, yeah, okay. But, good sir, you seem to be a man of knowledge and means. Have you got some friends who might be interested in hearing what we would have to say?
word is on the docks. Those that were in charge of our safety before Charlotte took over, those that were up in the forts, garrisoned there before she took over, those that were forced to retire are not quite so retired as you'd think.
If we go up to the forts, is that what he's suggesting?
No.
I'm a bit sorry, I was a little bit confused.
I've just heard stuff around the docks, and yeah, the sentiment here is not wholly positive in our leader's favor, shall we say. But no, I just heard these rumors that those that were in charge and turfed out when Charlotte took over have been training in secret. Now, if you were able to learn the names of those retired officers, perhaps you should be talking to them, not me.
I understand.
I don't. Can you explain?
If we want to take down Charlotte, then we've got to go talk to the retired officers.
I thought we were going fishing.
We can do both. Thank you, sir. May old Bitey bless ye, and all of your further travels by sea.
That kind of information must be somewhere in the city hall.
Cool.
They would have
We have a
records of who was enlisted before the changeover.
I know a guy.
Well, you didn't hear it from me.
What? What did you... What's that? I don't...
Well, I mean, I think he means like
Yeah.
he doesn't want us to tell people that we have the information, even though we did hear it from him.
Yes, but don't say that you had it.
Oh, the wisdom of your years shines through, sir.
I didn't go to school.
I said wisdom. Books are for
Right.
fools.
I appreciate that.
There's nothing that you can't be taught from the way the wind ripples on the surface and the tug of the currents at the prow of your boat.
Oh, you probably know more of the surface than me.
Well, I will bid him good day
Okay. Thank you.
and slowly back out.
So, a very awkward way to leave a store.
Slowly walking.
If we hadn't been talking the whole time, I would have assumed you'd stolen something.
I did stick googly eyes on your back. I am sorry.
His joints are like stiff, he's like, you can't reach. It's like,
They'll be there all week.
I've
Okay.
got fudge on my tooth.
Me too. Arison is just eating chocolate whilst talking to this guy.
Let's put them away.
Scuff, my friend.
Yes.
Are you, apart from your carpentry efforts, are you going to take the opportunity to a little reconnaissance from the the eastern windows of the house?
Yeah. After he's done a little bit of carpentry, he's gonna peer over towards the outside.
Okay.
See what I can see.
I would like you to make a Constitution insight check.
So a straight con check or
A con check, but with proficiency if you're proficient in insight.
I am not.
Okay.
So a con-based
Yes,
one
it's
will
like,
be
can you maintain a decent eye on the place for long enough to learn something?
That's 22.
Nice. Okay, so yes, I think you've done stakeouts before.
Been part of that, yeah. This is normal. It's all about keeping it awake, watching, spotting.
And you are able to keep an eye on the Baron's house, and you learn the following things. There are two Jidricks on the front door at all times. And there is a figure you see that comes out from inside and talks with them, and another that you spy through windows on the second floor, who are clearly some kind of security, but they're not Jedricks. Both from the way they're dressed and the way they carry themselves. And
very security, not different.
And you do see that local people from the population do come in and out of the place quite a lot. See, it does have the kind of day-to-day, city. Well, the city's too generous. The town, the running of the town does happen here as well. And you would know from your knowledge of Jedricks and kind of law enforcement and stuff in other towns and cities that there's probably a small courtroom if any trials needed to happen in the building, which it would look more like a small meeting room, but don't have a big full-on courtroom. But anything else you would like to try or do?
I want to have a look and check if people are like leaving with more than their or entering with more than they leave with, like if they're bringing gifts or if they're like bringing things into the house, if there's any deliveries of any sort, if they're like when the changes of staff are, like when the jigs change out.
Okay. Yep. You see that the Jedricks change 3 times through the day. Cheers, Kiwi. And some tradespeople bring goods, but people don't bring gifts.
What kind of goods are being transported in there?
It looks like just like household items and some sort of kind of stationery kind of stuff, like paperwork stuff.
Helpful. Well, it could be helpful if we try to sneak in. What are they wearing? The ones bringing stuff in?
Just regular clothes. They're just like they seem like regular merchants from the town.
Okay.
And yes, but then the Jedricks are in regular Jedrick uniform, and the other 2, they look like they must be some of these mercenaries, that Charlotte's brought in from outside Chessenta.
Yeah.
But they're in plain clothes. They're kind of loose fitting. They look like they'd be very They're not clearly armed, but they look like they'd be very handy with their hands. Perhaps martial artists of some kind, and because they're in loose-fitting, undeterminate robes, it's difficult to tell which of the mercenary companies they're with.
Cool. Yeah.
Fennicus comes in. Something for the one who does not gain sustenance from dreams. And he has a nice glass of water.
Just gonna look over and smile. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, been so focused on staking out this and making notes, and yeah, thank you.
I'm curious, Scuff. Why are you on this side of things? Why aren't you down there, being a good little Jedrick and guarding those in power?
That was never my goal. My goal is always to protect the people. The little man. farmers and the traders, and people in the street. They always wanted to protect the ones that couldn't protect themselves. Defend the innocent, if you may.
It's a noble outlook which, unfortunately, few hold.
Well, there's... I wouldn't say we're few, but if everyone had a sense of protection against the people who need it instead of serving themselves or serving for money, I'm sure the world would be better.
Perhaps. But money does, get people moving.
It sure does. That's why you see all the nobles have all their guards with them and always have tons of protection, because money is what makes the world go around, and those who have it, they would like to keep it.
True. It'll also be something useful once you have some allies here. They will be able to fund your efforts, I would imagine.
Of course, it will be needed if we're gonna do what we're trying to do. No revolution can go unfunded.
Indeed.
Not successfully, at least.
Certainly if you are intending to go beyond this little village.
At some point we will have to.
Do you think
We
those that
we
you
wanna
saw
make
in
national-
Heptios, those further north, do you think they will help you?
Maybe. I guess we'll see when we get there.
Indeed.
There's a lot of good in the world, and I'm sure more than us see the tyranny brought on by Charla. Sure, we'll find allies in all sorts of places.
And do not worry, Scuff. I understand what it's like to be hunted. A lack of understanding of one's talents.
Talents.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I know. I'm sorry, you were dreaming about it the other night. I know that this is some sort of curse placed upon your family.
Oh, yeah. Though it seems to only be affecting me.
Silver linings. Well, how about looking at it as not a curse, but just the way it is?
Well, how can it not be? Have you not seen the things it does? I have to hide away because of the problems it causes. How I got in the first place. It's all so destructive, so scary.
But that kind of destruction, that force, if channeled in the right direction, can be a positive thing, can it not?
At least I can learn to control it. Channel it to something good instead.
Yes. It is something I have worked on extensively. Now I only feed on those who give their consent. And if you're lucky, once in a blue moon, someone like Luce will come along and you feast.
Yeah, he chuckles. You know, I never thought I'd agree with a vampire. I've always seen vampires as villainous people feasting off others.
If I was a villain, would I dress so well?
Yes, they would. From the stories, all vampires and vampires alike usually dressed in the finest of clothes, living in the finest of houses in the far-off lands. At least that's what my mother told
Awkwardly
me.
looks around his mansion. Well, I've let the place go a little, if that helps in my favour.
Sure, that's
This is the problem. We are always lumped in together. What
You
is
always aren't you?
what is the loss of a dream or two, especially if it is a bad one?
No, like as long as his dreams, I don't see a problem with it at all. And in fact, you've helped Luz have some quiet nights of sleep.
Indeed.
I appreciate that.
And you should know there are many vampires and vampiric households who have perfectly willing donors for their meals.
Willing
Yes.
seems odd. Who's willing to sacrifice
I'm sure
their
it
own dogs?
seems odd to them that you feast on unwilling creatures. Those farmers that Charisse was talking about. Are their cows, their pigs, their chickens giving themselves willingly to the townspeople? I don't think so.
Well, that's different. They're raised to be food.
It's an interesting way to look at it, though, isn't it? If you are able to find folks, lucky as I am with you, who give of their energies freely. I must say
I guess.
certain romantic ideas and stories that go around about vampires do tend to offer up some willing individuals from time to time, or so I'm told. Just so long as it isn't any of those cursed Nosferatu, like back in Abesco.
Yeah,
Why
I
did you
really
throw
wonder-
yourself into such danger?
Danger.
Yes, you single-handedly charge against an ancient beast of horror and terror. For what? To save a wizard you'd never met?
Yes. I don't care who it is. If they're struggling with something, if there's something I can help with, I need to at least try.
You're nobler than I.
It's not about nobility. This is all about. It's all about giving people the chance to do something great. What do I know? If this wizard survives, maybe it would be the cure for the disease that currently has no cure. Maybe we'll help. Maybe we'll help small children never be hungry again. What do I know?
Potentially. I am content to be in the shadows. You go on to do your great things, and you're welcome to do your great things out of this house for now. Hells, if you're successful in taking the town, you're still welcome to stay here.
I do wonder though. What do you get out of this?
Sorry, I think I didn't hear you straight there.
What do you get out of this?
Sustenance, plain and simple. The dreams of revolutionaries are quite spicy.
So you let us stay here only because we provide you with sustenance, with dreams for you to devour. You sure there's nothing else? Nothing you hope to gain?
Let me tell you something, Scuff. Bad dreams, nightmares are a thrilling feast, but a steady flow of contented dreamscapes is altogether more satisfying in the long run. And perhaps this land deserves a period of peace. Charlotte now, her particular brand of peace at the end of a sword, the oppression of things they don't agree with, is not exactly what I had in mind. And God knows, the folks in charge before are much worse.
I'm glad we're aligned for now. You've been of great help to our I'm sure you will be for the future too.
Your humble servant.
Now, I gotta go back to my spotting.
Yes, eyes open. And don't forget to drink.
He nods. He's gonna drink a little more.
Okay. Reese, what you doing?
Reese is going to scout out the movements of the city hall.
Okay.
Try and find the governor and get a good look at it. And kind of take a note of like his movements throughout the day as well.
Noted. You... Give me a stealth check.
Okay. Uh, 23.
Nice. And a perception check as well.
I'm gonna use my inspiration crystal.
Be my guest.
Awesome, much better. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Okay. So yes, you managed to, with that stealth, stay out of sight and unobserved as you're kind of in the shadows of the alleyways across, in that cluster of buildings that's across the street there, shall we say. And you watch the comings and goings. Round about lunchtime, the members of the household from number 29 there, like directly across from Fennicus's, come out and pay a visit to the Baron's house, inviting him to a luncheon somewhere in the town. But it seems that with the heightened security from the problems of the night before, they are turned away. And they seem quite disgruntled by that. So, kind of suggests that, you know, under normal circumstances, the Baron might leave for lunch appointments.
Okay.
But I'm afraid, yeah, with the way that the day is going, there is, you know, with the heightened security and everything, they do not show.
Do I get the impression that if we were to wait till things die down a little, it might be easier to break in, get these blueprints, and
certainly they would be on higher alert, you'd think. Just because of the general feeling in the town.
Okay.
At At one point in the afternoon, you see a woman in her 40s with long auburn hair and dark eyes, wearing quite practical clothes as opposed to kind of like the fashionable things that people are, prone to wearing in these circles, arrives, and you remember seeing her up at the Parthenon as well. And you think this might be the daughter
Okay.
that was in charge up there. And she disappears inside for a while before leaving. And you see the same things at Scuffle. You can double check and confirm those. There are the two Jedricks on the front, and
Private security.
you see the private security looking folks come out and talk with them.
Can I overhear anything they're saying, like when they're conferring notes?
Give me another perception check.
And that is another dirty 20.
Nice. You hear them asking if there are any suspicious people loitering around, and to keep their wits about them, unless they want to end up like their friend.
Their friend. Oh.
Well, as in fellow Jedrick.
Okay.
So it seems there's quite a kind of like aggressive dominance being asserted by these private guys, they're mercenaries. Okay. And that's often the case. You've seen that in other places as well. The various mercenary companies will be quite brash and try and exert kind of pressure from above, because they are kind of Charlotte's favourites, brought in from the outside. A bit more trusted because they're just, as long as they're paid, they're fine.
Yep. Any other activity throughout the day?
Again, just the deliveries and things.
What about time do things start closing up around here?
You see that as the sun starts to set, the visitors stop coming. A short time before, so that the ones that arrived can be dealt with. Since from about an hour before sundown, it's only people coming out that had arrived earlier. There's no extra people arriving. And as the torches start to get lit and the sun goes down across the Methmere, you see that the day's business seems to be done.
Any after hours activity that might be of note?
Are you staying there?
For a little while, yeah.
Okay.
Just to see about what time, the people go to bed, and what nighttime security is like.
You see still the change of the guards, the Jedricks and the mercenaries are relieved of their duties. It seems like the mercenaries are there for there's the day shift and the night shift, just two groups, whereas the Jedricks switch out more frequently. And as late as you stay, and then even if you go back to Fennicus's mansion and keep observing from the windows, there are always lanterns on inside.
Okay.
The entire house is never completely dark.
And is there a window in the office?
You're not sure which room is the office, but there are windows all around. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna head back to Fennicus's after that?
Yep.
Okay. And Arius and Luce arrive back as well. Scuff, Arius has a trident, but a fishing one, but you know it will do the trick. Still, Arius still wouldn't. It would still be get you into trouble if you're just walking around carrying it. But
I will put a bag on its head.
If nobody asks you, it's a cricket bat.
I will paint a face on it and say, "This is my best friend, the trident, and this is my friend."
I'm your best friend.
Ah, best friend. He pats the trident.
No. I'm gonna kill that trident.
Overreaction.
just wake up the next day, it's just tied in a knot. He's like, "Oh my god, solid steel." Okay. Thank you.
It's that meme of the sign saying "Welcome home, cheater."
Okay.
He's not cheating on you.
I'm your best friend.
So, the day is spent. Various progress is made. Heard from different folks here. And Reese, are you okay with what you've learnt already, or are you going to leave? Maybe not make a move this night. And wait for the next one.
Reese is going to continue staking it out the next day. Try and get more on the office. Maybe kind of pretend to put in like some sort of like request or complaint or something in order to get an inside look as well.
Sure. Let's have a think. Okay. So, yeah, you... Sorry, let me just double check things here. Okay, yeah, you... go in there with a complaint. Let's bring folks over. Oop. Here you are. So, as you arrive, before we get to this point, the Jedric's outside, like, "What is your business?"
There was repairs that need to be done down at the docks.
Do you have the acquisition notices and things needed?
I think I need to pick up those forms.
Okay. Wait inside.
Thank you.
And you are ushered through the double doors at the front there. And you've got eyes on there, yeah? You can see your token?
Let me hear a look.
I just put Reese's there. I don't know if it will show for everyone.
I want to see.
Let's see.
Can you see Reese? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good? Yeah? Okay. So yeah, as you make your way through the double doors, you see there are a couple of long couches on either side of this hallway where people wait, and you see a couple of people waiting there. They kind of look up at you just out of interest. And you see the mercenary that came out to talk with the Jedric's is stationed up here. Like in that central point there. If you kind of like make your way over here to kind of sit on the sofa there, you can glimpse down the hall. Yeah, I thought that would give you a spot there. As you sit there, as you glimpse down the hallway, you see this door here.
Yep.
Above that door, you see a brass plaque that says the Lord's office.
Perfect. And would I have been able to essentially mental map, cobble together the inside with the outside by the windows that we've seen?
Yes. Yes, there is a window on that side, on the west side of the building.
Okay.
Yeah, towards Fennicus's.
Perfect.
There are windows. You think from the glimpse that you've already got, it seems like this corridor here that leads to the main central area there with the staircases. That's a couple of nice plants and tables there and things. Those two staircases like curve up to the second floor, and it seems that kind of central corridor runs the length of the building. It seems east to west, and there must be rooms to your east and west immediately right now, like here, and here. Just for the layouts, the way the walls are laid out. And there must be another suite of rooms towards the back behind the staircase. The staircase seems to be in the center of the building. From your kind of eyeballing it and your knowledge of the exterior dimensions of the building.
Rather than write any of his notes down,
Mm-hmm.
he just kind of memorizes it and just kind of
No problem.
looks idle while waiting
Yeah.
on.
Out of interest, can you others see as well without your tokens on the map, or is it just dark?
Nope. Just dark.
Can I see? We can I see?
I'll put you on there. I mean, you're not. I think Reese has done this
Beam
alone. But
down.
I will put you there. So you can...
What this location? Sorry, I've been a bit confused. Is this
No worries.
Baron's house,
Yes.
or is it the town hall, or are they
It's
the same?
the same building. Yeah.
Same thing, cool.
The ground
Okay.
floor here is where
Reese
that stuff happens.
Enters the town hall and encounters bureaucracy.
So yeah, you can't move your tokens around, but that is where you are. Everyone, if you would like beautiful maps like this, head on over to CZRPG's Patreon. Welcome in, everybody. Those of you jumping in after we've talked about it earlier on, that we do have a giveaway going today, !enter if you want your chance to win. Okay, so Reese, as you're sat there, a secretary, kind of like an office worker kind of person, comes out of the Lord's chamber there, and comes over. Yes, may I help you?
I needed
quite
a form
stressed and
to
overworked.
report some repairs that are needed down at the docks.
Is it because of those vicious beasts the other day?
Yeah.
Certainly. I can do that. Just a moment, please. They disappear.
Of course. Take your time.
They look quite stressed, overworked.
Reese is just making a note of every face he sees for potential repeat use later.
Nice. Okay. And I think while you're waiting, a couple of Jedricks do actually march in someone, like who's actually got their arms like cuffed behind them, and they are led around the corner to the right, and you hear a door opening and closing in that direction, and then after a while, one of the Jedricks comes back out and fetches the Lord, and you actually do see the Lord himself like walk past across that junction there, and it seems.
Is he wearing anything in particular?
He is wearing a dark blue tunic and kind of grey, trousers and Nothing particular. He has his hair drawn back in a ponytail and streaks of white along the temples, and a big kind of salt and pepper beard. Hey, Mac, thank you. Inspiration for Reese there. Have your crystal back.
Does it seem like this is a uniform or just regular clothing?
His clothing, it seems. Yeah.
Okay.
And you do see from your vantage point there, actually, as he leaves his office, he does lock it, and then puts the key on a belt loop, and then disappears into
within reach.
Hmm?
Does he? As he's walking by, is it within reach?
it would be too obvious.
Okay.
There'd be no way to get
I
close
thought I'd
to.
ask.
Yeah.
Thief gonna thief.
Okay.
Goddamn thieves.
You just like get to the window. You just see Scuff scowling down from the building next door. I'm watching you, Reese.
Haven't done anything yet.
Intent. Okay. So after a short while, that secretary type person comes back with the paperwork.
Ah, thank you so much.
Yes. I'm sorry. Even once it's filled out, you might have to wait a short while. It's all go.
Do you mind if I stay and fill it out here, or should I come back tomorrow?
It will require the signatures of those affected as well, so please.
Ah, okay. I'll leave and come back. Thank you so much. Been great help.
Yes, just doing our jobs.
And Reese leaves and starts to make a plan.
Okay. And let's bring it back out to the map here. Okay. So, yes, you return back there. And is there anything you'd like to do before we action all this information that you have? Or are we just gonna get things going there? Luce, Arius, Scuff, anything you'd like to do?
No, good.
Ace loose with my trident.
I feel fulfilled. It was a really successful whisper campaign, I say loudly as I exit the... No, I'm joking. I would like to go and report my success to Reese, and I look jealously at Arius's bag friend.
Bag friend.
Yeah. Reese, where are you?
Yes.
Hello. Fancy meeting you here on the steps of this house. Didn't add any of my stuff. Oh. We came to report to you on the successes of our whisper campaign.
We only really talked to one person, but
But
Yeah,
they gave
keep it
us
up.
really important information.
What'd you find out?
So we found out that actually the people who we need to talk to are the ex-officers, the people who used to run the place. They apparently have been training in secret.
Also,
very loud as well.
y'all would find Reese inside the house if that helps.
Oh, cool. Training in secret to try and bring down Charla.
That's great news, actually. Were y'all gonna check the? Track them down today.
There was no mention of their motives.
Oh, well, their motives are a mystery, but their power is surely a force to be reckoned with.
Let's try and figure out their motives first, and not wind up stabbed in the back.
Okay.
Scuff, are you there?
Skiff will saunter on down.
Yeah.
And he hears voices.
And you hear talk of previous officers and things. Scuff, give me a history check with advantage.
Will do. giving me all these random checks that I haven't memorized the stats for.
No worries.
It's plus 3. He's good at this. It's a 19.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can concur what they heard from the fishermen. That the a lot of the old guard were thrown out, but unceremoniously, when the new kind of force of Jedric's took over, and your father, wasn't. He continued to serve, but a lot of those that were ousted and chucked out were very, very dissatisfied with that state of affairs, and not treated with the respect and given the proper retirements that they should have been.
I'm sure if we can find these people, a lot of them would help us in our task. However, some of these would want to come back into their power, so we need to make sure we know what to do with them afterwards.
And Lucarius recessed if you knew who they were.
Well, no, we don't. But we know where to find the information, which would point us in that direction, and that would be the town hall.
Correct.
If we go in there, we can get the info. Arius can concur my findings.
So more information for me to borrow.
Yeah, like a library book.
Perfect.
Okay.
Like a good day, all done. Let's go to sleep.
Okay. Now, yes, the second day is done, and Scuff, Charisse thinks it's probably okay for you if you like kind of pull up a hood. Then it'll be probably okay for you to go outside now. And on the third day, Reese, if you kind of keep an eye out from the building or go out onto the streets, you do see that there has been a certain easing of the nervous security that was around before. So they probably think after 2 days of not finding anybody, they must have scalped.
Since Scuff usually isn't seen without his armor, for now he's gonna take off his armor just to create that distance from the one they know and the one they don't. Because a hood wouldn't do much to hide his armor,
Yeah. Okay, so what is the plan of action for getting in to the town hall? All of you find yourself sat around the kind of large central table in Fenicus's gaff there.
Let's see, I have a bunch of this. So there are deliveries of food and stationery things on a regular basis. I'm sure we could hide as one of those. Don't get in there.
And does it seem like the Lord is back to his regular lunch schedule?
On this third day, he does go out with a rich-looking merchant. Yes.
Okay. I think we can try and time a delivery right about, say, lunchtime when the Lord's going to be out of his office.
That could work.
And
You need things to deliver.
sneak into the office looking just like him.
We might the districts, they might know who does the delivery, but they do change every so hours, about 3 times a day. I'm sure if we can time it with that too, there could be enough confusion to slip by. People being tired, trying to swap out, and will arrive at the same time.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if you suggested that yourself there, Scuff. But yeah, you think the end of the shift would be a great time.
Loose?
We need items to deliver.
We do, yes.
I can do that.
I'll also explain which things I did see, like what kind of foods, what kind of stationaries.
That's fine. I already have some ideas.
I am scared.
And if things look like they might go a bit wonky, you maybe release an animal sneakily.
What'll be the cause of the wonkiness?
I will need my balloon animal supply kit and some pepper.
Since when do you have a balloon animal supply kit? Where did you possibly pick that up?
I went shopping today.
Priorities.
John?
John's like, no, you didn't.
John! John!
They're made of animal guts because
Yes,
there's
they are.
no rubber.
Balloon animal supply kit. I would like to make pepper spray bomb balloon animals. So, I am going to fill the balloon animals with pepper. And the idea is that...
Also, ground mustard seed could help.
and ground mustard seed, which I'm sure Fennicus can supply for me. And I'm going to make them in such fun shapes that I have learned as pufferfish, which is just a blown up balloon with a smiley face on it and some googly eyes.
As Luce rushes back and forth, Ari's just like, so impressive.
Luce, make me an intelligence check, please.
No!
Never.
Not an intelligence check!
I love how intelligence checks are. Are you stupid?
It's an 18 plus something, I'm sure. So I don't have. I have a +2 intelligence, supposedly.
So it's a dirty 20?
I feel like I should. It's dirty 20.
Okay. You do manage to get the ratios right and make a fairly caustic mix of pepper and other bits and bobs.
Nice. I'm using my skills for chemical warfare.
Oh no. Oh no.
Nice. I am so excited.
Please remove another gold piece for materials.
Yep. I will do this willingly.
Luce is gonna be broke by the end of this.
You bet. Everybody, I present to you a fleet. Nay, a battalion. That's smaller. Of pufferfish balloon animals.
No, they don't float.
They don't float.
There's no
They
helium.
just sit on the floor. Pufferfish balloon animal. I point to the floor.
How did you blow them off?
I breathed into them.
Whilst they were full of mustard seeds and stuff.
No, I obviously put that in after using a funnel. Why do you think my eyes are bleeding?
I was gonna say that.
Wow.
Ari's is just like,
Tried and tested.
right.
It works on me. It must work on them.
Wipes the blood away.
Okay.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry, John.
No, it's fine.
I'm
So-
sorry, you guys.
What is
Sorry.
what is the plan? We have the tools, but what is the plan?
The plan is to pretend we're delivering food and stationaries, and to arrive at the end of a shift, right before the shift change, or even right as they're about to get off for the shift.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully timing this with the lunchtime period while the Lord is out of office.
Okay.
I will dress up as a fool.
Ari's is just sharpening his trident. It's like, yeah. I'll monitor the fool.
Okay.
Put on
So
some other things.
yeah, what is your plan? What is your plan, Liz?
I'm delivering the goods. That's how I'm getting in. Reese need.
So
We're having
feeding
two
all of
deliveries. One delivery of stationery and supplies, and one delivery of balloons that were never ordered.
You are you planning to waylay an actual delivery person or create a new delivery?
I can highwayman them. With
How?
Arius.
Oh yeah, you want Arius to just stab them?
Arius can sort that out.
Yeah, you can sort that out.
I'm sure we could go about this much more simply.
We're gonna have to start hand waving
Right?
these periods of like 3 days at a time after Arius has killed someone. You have to lie low
Yeah.
again.
Look,
Fine, the evidence will be gone.
it's true.
Don't ask how, but it'll be gone.
It's just a montage of Charisse pinching the bridge of her nose.
Yeah.
Or boring.
I don't know, simple
Wait.
is good. Yes.
You've seen these documents, right? You know how they look. I'm sure you could fake a delivery document.
Easily.
I think it's much better than attacking delivery
Made me
people.
tired.
Yeah.
Okay, so gonna make a fake invoice.
Mhm.
Okay,
I can't believe
you don't have to roll for that. That's bread and butter.
I think we might need to get to work on some bandanas to protect your eyes when I explode the balloons.
I have
Balloons
two sets
are
of eyelids.
backup plan. The backup
Okay.
on the backup plan.
Okay. So when I explode them, if I explode them and you don't have a suitable protection from the backup plan, I'm going to need an emergency contact so that I can inform your next of kin.
You're my emergency contact.
That's not good for you.
Okay,
Do I
so
have to-
we'll use. How about the little like fluffy pets that you summoned,
Fluffy pet.
like the bag of tricks that Luce has.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a pretty good chaos. Nobody gets mortally dead.
It's time for the return of Harold.
That's
Um,
repetitive.
At this point, Scuff actually nods in agreement with Reese, like kind of proud.
I'm just trying to be practical. Like all of you guys. Why is it when I'm practical, you act like we're all gonna die? We'll be mortally wounded.
We
That
don't
can happen
necessarily.
at any time.
Yeah.
That's
We'll be
the
mortally
balloons
wounded.
are death balloons are Plan M.
I don't think the death balloons are gonna kill anyone. They should be more like mildly irritating balloons.
Alright, okay, I'm gonna get everybody some milk.
Okay.
Okay? That'll do, I'm sure. I go off and get milk.
Okay.
Ferret. I'm sure he has some. If he has ground mustard seed and pepper, he has a pint of milk.
They're farms,
Yeah.
they're goats.
Yeah.
Arius doesn't drink milk.
Well, we're not drinking it, pouring it on our eyes.
He's very lactose intolerant.
If he's next to milk, he's stuck.
Yeah, he breaks out in
Breaks
hives.
out in hives.
So,
This is a good thing.
once inside, what is the plan?
Reese, I point
While
at
there
you.
is confusion in the hall with the deliveries, Reese is going to sneak away looking like the Lord and break into the office.
Mhm.
And
Where are you going to change?
is there something that I can hide behind?
As you saw, like it's a fairly open place, and it would look very strange for you to be disappearing anywhere.
In which case, Reese is going to go in through the window while everybody's making just the distraction on the inside.
Okay.
Little spider.
You think that two distractions might be quite useful, because as it stands, the western side of the building, which is kind of like southwestern side on the map there, as we're seeing. Let's zoom in a bit here,
Okay.
as we can on the map. Oop. So there's the building. So yeah, you can see as we were looking at it on that map just before, where it was a kind of aligned, like northeast southwest. That's that skewed view there, number 23 on the map. So the front doors are there on the main road. Now,
Okay.
going by the map here, the good news is the office window would be round about where those trees are. So there would be a certain amount of cover from them, but that is quite a busy thoroughfare because it leads to the amphitheatre.
Yeah.
So something happening on that street to distract people would be useful. And then something happening inside with the delivery, etc., would be distracting, for the guards, the mercenaries who were inside.
Okay. So Scuff, do you want to handle the delivery? Luce and Arius, I have a plan for y'all put on a show back in with the forest with the flowers before that drew a crowd.
Oh yeah.
Might be worth trying something like that.
I
Something
can't
fun.
make flower.
Something
I don't do flower.
loud.
I don't. Loud really depends on how loud they scream.
Okay. I can.
I don't remember Arya's been this psychopathic when we started the campaign.
No, John, this is what happened. I create the character and slowly they turn into psychopaths.
Same thing happens here. The character I created at the beginning was quite nice, but now we've created mustard gas. So, anyway, hello. Yes, we can do this. But what I could do is make flowers and hand them out to people. And Arius, why don't you demonstrate some of your martial arts skills to the people?
I don't have martial arts skills.
What about you show off your gills? You have loads of admirable qualities and
Right.
talents.
Arya starts stripping off to reveal all his gills.
Okay, wait, but stop because you don't want to scare the children.
I keep the trousers on like you told me.
Okay, yeah, like I told you.
Yeah.
Can you
So
do
now
any
we're-
card tricks as well?
We could be a traveling circus of 2 people.
Maybe acrobatics tricks.
Nope.
I cannot do this.
Yeah.
But guess what?
I can.
Do you play an instrument?
I really got nothing.
God, wait, can I do anything?
I can
I can play the viol.
badly.
That's great.
I'm-
Good or bad.
Play real bad. Okay, so I will
You
hand
can
out
try to be good if you want.
flowers and balloons, not filled with mustard gas,
Yeah.
and I'll play the violin badly, and Arius will do really mediocre acrobatics tricks.
I feel like this isn't the best use of my skills full time.
How is this going to help us?
Luce, you think if you wanted to sow some chaos, a diluted form of the balloons could create mild discomfort on the streets as opposed to eye-watering terror.
Can I ask questions of alchemists? How does alchemists' fire work?
I would. You remember Game of Thrones?
Oh
The
dear
black
God. Okay.
water.
What about filling them with water?
Okay,
You could bomb people with them then.
What
And
if-
it would delay.
what if we start a water fight?
Yes,
And I
perfect.
put a tiny bit of it into the water
Yeah.
to cause mild
Oh,
discomfort.
I can throw.
And that will
Beautiful.
actually maybe get more complaints in the city hall. If it's a mild irritant, maybe there's a problem with the water.
Okay. Okay. And so we do this on the way to making the delivery.
No. You just focus on the water fight.
Yeah, we're not
Scuff
being
will-
involved in delivery.
Scuff will make the delivery, and I will
Scuff.
make the borrowing.
I get the feeling that you guys think we're incompetent, and I am taking personal offense.
I'm going to give you my balloons, but not enthusiastically.
And I am not going to promise that I won't behead people because I'm angry.
Please don't.
His face hasn't changed at all.
I don't think that you're incompetent at all. I'm just simply suggesting you put what you enjoy to good use.
You mellifluous bastard. He stands back.
Let's do it!
No
Besides, I think that Arius, unless I'm mistaken, has a great arm for throwing some good balloons. Hit people in the
you're really
face.
not mistaken.
Right in the face.
He's staring at Reese's face.
What a
Not my
fun-
face. I need to break in places.
Yeah,
Maybe later.
For now.
Okay. So,
Do you have an emergency contact?
Do you have an emergency contact, Reese?
I think Capis, maybe?
Yeah. I'm gonna start keeping notes of everyone's emergency contact.
You are Arius' emergency contact.
Okay.
Reese,
So what's the
you will never know the name of my emergency contact.
what is the triggering factor here? Is it when Scuff arrives and goes in?
When Scuff goes in, Reese will be a spotter at the window, give a whistle for Luce and Arius.
Noted. Does Scuff have any balloons as backup?
Yes. Yeah, I give Scuff the original balloons, and I give him a nice letter explaining that these are a gift from a traveling fool. I use my full name.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable carrying weapons of mass destruction into a office.
Oh, a method of mass destruction.
Arius gives him a bone shiv.
I mean, there's no
And the
difference
milk.
between these two.
If you accidentally pop one, pour this on your eyes really fast and run away.
Ooh, I did put a bit of
Scuff.
pepper in the milk.
Scuff, you'll be happy with that bone shiv when you find out they have metal detectors.
It's fair. It's fair.
But
Very smart.
you need to prepare a delivery, Scuff. What are you going to prepare?
I'm gonna prepare delivery of.
Before you said food and stationery, I'd probably go with one or the other. it's like
Yeah.
very wide-ranging store delivering. It's like, yes, we have your quills and parchment and produce.
Actually, it's gonna do something different. Because if we're gonna fake something, it wouldn't be the regular deliveries, right? It wouldn't be the same things that come in on a regular basis.
Good idea. They probably have regular people.
So-
yeah,
How about clothing instead?
sure.
I'm sure you could get in like maybe like a new shirt or something, because Reese did see what he usually wears.
True. Okay.
Maybe it's like a delivery from a cleaners or something.
How about I'll put it this way. I was gonna charge some money to get the goods to make a delivery, but if it's clothing, I'll say that Phoenicus actually has some wardrobes full of clothes, which are not the latest fashions, but they would withstand a cursory inspection.
Yeah, that could definitely work.
Excellent. Okay. So you load those up into a similar looking kind of package as you saw others carrying when they arrived.
Mhm.
Okay. So you are setting off in that direction. Reese, are you hanging out on that kind of southwest corner until you see Scuff go?
Yep.
And then you're going to gesture to Arius and Luce and then dip into the trees?
Yep.
Okay. So, there are going to be several checks here. First, let's shift this a bit. Okay. Scuff.
Yep.
First and foremost, you arrive at the front doors and are confronted by the Jedricks. You there! What is this?
Delivery for the Lord, sir.
What is it?
Clothing.
Give me a persuasion check.
Mhm. I will use a insight to reroll that.
The crystal, yep.
17 sounds better.
Nice. Any pluses to
No, just straight.
that? Okay.
Straight 17.
Thank you for the crystals, everyone.
Oof. Thank you, everyone.
We immediately transitioned to another chase sequence. No. Okay. So they look at you. Very well. Go into the foyer and then wait there.
Will do.
And Reese, you see Scuff ushered inside. What do you do?
Reese signals Luce and Luce and Arius to start the assault.
Okay, Luce, Arias, what do you do?
Arius. Sorry. Hurry up. Okay.
Iris has joint pain and needs to lie down every now.
It's okay, it's okay.
Valid.
Okay. So I think we position ourselves in the street. Do we want to be overt or covert?
Are we a distraction?
As in ourselves.
We make our bodies covert and our actions overt.
I put a bag on my head.
Yeah, it's an improvement.
I put a bag on Arius's head. Let's go!
He pokes 2 eyes so you can see.
Okay. I will rush out into the street, find the most dashingly dressed person I can, and throw a water bomb at them.
Okay.
I want to increase the effort of this using a very subtle druid craft if possible.
Subtle druid craft.
In what way?
Sleight of hand, gust, sleight, to give it a little extra.
Okay. Give me a ranged attack. So with your dex.
Okay. That is gonna be a. Oh god, I'm not very strong, so that makes sense. An 8. Oh wait, 18 actually.
Oh, by the way, Reese, the trigger for this is that as the Baron left on a lunch appointment, then Scuff started.
Sorry, no, 14. 14.
A 14. Okay.
Yeah.
For a regular member of the populace, that will be fine. They're not wearing any armor or anything. So yep. So you like in plain sight, you throw that.
Yeah.
Okay. So and this is with the pepper in it.
I was like, I said, I have made a mistake.
Can I Can I maybe covertly throw the first one?
Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
I was gonna do something that might help you.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
I was just waiting for you to pause in your mania.
Okay.
Arius would like to covertly, I'm guessing they're kind of stationed
Yeah.
behind some stuff,
Yes.
covertly cast a fog cloud and then throw the balloons into it so that the water droplets are going
Smarter.
to disperse and carry it.
Yeah. Okay.
And we were
okay.
18.
So give me the stealth check then.
Okay.
Right. One each.
I mean,
Diamond. You said.
oh yeah, I'll use my jump.
Okay. Oh dear. So
It
how'd
was
you
their
get?
turn last week. Now it's our turn. You go on to yours.
What was it?
My thing is glitchy, Emma. Hold on.
And Emma, what's yours?
I just can't get it.
Natural 20.
Ha! For a total of?
Stealth.
9.
24.
Okay. Nice. So, for an
Have I
average
gone ahead?
of
Yeah.
16, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that's against passive perceptions, right? It's not people searching for you.
Look,
So
I
you
wasn't the one who ran out into the street and started throwing things.
This is true, yeah. Okay.
so you're hidden. Are you hidden kind of like up in this tree area here,
Yes.
like near the
Hidden
like,
up in the
towards-
tree area, the fog starts spilling down, and then we will rain hellishly spicy water upon them.
Okay, so Reese, as you see the Baron leave on his lunch appointment and Scuff enter the building, you nod at Luce and Arius, who go round the corner, conceal themselves. Arius from hiding does the... What does this spell look like, Arius? How does it conjure into being in the street here?
I think he takes a few droplets of water that condense in the air and he blows them out and they expand into a fog cloud.
Okay. You hear the voices, like, at first startled and shocked, and then you say, "Oh, don't worry, dear. This must be some fancy new effect they have at the amphitheater. I do believe they're showing The Tempest at the moment." And then you hurl. Okay.
I don't yell.
Roll me.
Well, I don't
Internally
yell. I
yell.
internally yell.
Roll to hit. Roll to hit with disadvantage. As you pitch them.
19 is the first roll.
19. Okay.
6 is the second. 8.
Plus an 8. Okay.
8.
And Darius, you're throwing 2, right?
Arius isn't technically aiming it at anyone. He's trying to throw it into the fog to
Yes.
disperse it among the water particles. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm specifically targeting people.
Okay. So yeah, you both throw the balloons in there, and you hear more startled cries. It's like, "Oh, some sort of water effect too!" And then
Like when you're watching a 4D movie and they splash water on you, like, ah!
then you start to hear coughing and
Oh my god.
and cries of startled dismay, not
I'm
pain.
sorry if any of you had pre-existing conditions.
Imagine
No.
if you did this on me.
Oh.
Okay, Luce blows their cover.
No,
shout out into the street.
I'm joking.
I have all wrote down your emergency contacts.
Luckily, they passed their con saves, so they're not in too much trouble, but they are uncomfortable. This starts erupting around the corner. You hear cries and alarm, Reese, and I need you to make a stealth check.
With advantage?
Um,
Just because of all the distractions?
yes.
Okay. I'm grateful for the advantage. That is a... $21.
21.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you are able to. Sorry, just a moment. You're able to slip into the trees and hide just as one of the Jedricks from the front door of the thing comes around to investigate the noise. So you are managed to able to slip in time out of sight, and you find yourself at the window.
And with
Just-
some of the sound as cover, can I attempt to either unlock the window from outside or
Yep,
just
it's a thieves
bump it
tools check.
open?
Thieves tool check.
Perfect. That is a dirty 20.
Nice.
It was so close to the natural 20.
You are able to use the quote-unquote thin curved wire to pass under the gap and hook the delicate mechanism on the inside to unlock it. Okay. You do that. As you are doing that, Scuff, you are inside, and the mercenary kind of scowls and comes over. "You there? What is this? Nothing was scheduled."
Yes, it was. Can you see here? He's gonna pull forth the delivery note.
Okay, give give me a deception check with advantage because you have the invoice.
Mhm.
So it was a good idea to make that.
That's a 4.
And then with advantage.
That's a 4.
What was the other one?
3.
Wow. Okay. He looks at you, and he looks down at like an itinerary on the thing. He's like, "No, there is nothing here.
This
Who-
is outrageous.
What is it? What is it for?
It is a delivery of clothing for the Lord.
The Lord is out."
How dare you? How dare you stand in the way of the Lord's fashion?
and the mercenary kind of like smiles menacingly.
His entire point here is cause a distraction for.
Yeah,
for
right.
his-
Exactly.
This is fine.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I dare."
Oh, so your intention is then to have the Lord walk around without clothing?
No, of course
Perhaps-
not. But
Perhaps you will give him your own clothing then.
I'm just saying that you need to schedule your deliveries and not just turn up on the door.
The delivery was scheduled for now, as it says on the paper.
He says, "I don't know where you found this old invoice paper, but that is not the official mark."
Well then, whose mark is it then, if you're so smart?
I don't bloody care. All I know is it's not the Baron's.
Well then, in that case, someone has been faking the order deliveries for the Lord.
Well, lucky I'm here
Shouldn't
to
this be
catch
a
them then,
concern?
isn't it? Go on, you. Out on your eel. Go on. Piss off.
Oh. I will not move from here until my delivery is made. I have a job, good sir.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and what's gonna happen if you don't make your precious delivery?
I have never missed a single delivery in my entire life, and I will not let this be the first. Respond to threats with righteous indignancy. He's like, no.
Well, I never.
No.
Okay. He's gonna start like firmly, but not aggressively, pushing.
Unhand me, sir. I have not done anything that would warrant you touching me.
Make me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics can do. That's 12.
12. Okay, sorry, I got a 16. You do not manage to slip out of the way, and he starts to kind of just shove you towards the door.
Yep, makes sense.
But he is distracted doing that.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yes. Arius, Luce, is there a round 2?
Yes, certainly. So, I think, how much chaos are we talking right now?
It is kind of like coughing and spluttering and mild confusion.
Okay.
And you can see a Jedrick comes around the corner to investigate. What is this? What on earth is going on here?
Okay, I think it's time for an animal.
Dime.
I will look at, I'll look at Arius and give him a nod and pull out the bag of tricks.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Would you like to roll a d8?
Sure.
What's it gonna be?
There's a jackal.
A jackal. Okay.
Yep, I will tie water balloons to it, and put them on loose enough so that as it leaps and runs, it splatters them.
Okay. So yeah, you send off this jackal, and the Jedrick cries out in alarm, and starts to cough and retch.
Nice.
They fail their Constitution saving throw.
Jesus Christ. You really messed them up now. Yep.
And then screams come from within the cloud as the unseen beast growls and snaps.
Should we
Get out of the way because this thing is dispersing.
yeah.
Okay, we will disperse.
We stroll off.
Okie doke. Second mission accomplished.
Yeah, we're done now.
Okay, Reese, you use the cover of the trees and the distraction to slip in through the window and find yourself in the interior, which I can place you in. Where are you? There you are. Here we are. So you... Let's just put you here. Sorry folks, this is where we're at. So over here. I love the colour of this wood, and like the floor and stuff.
It's really, really nice detailing.
Yeah, right. Recently, Wizards has gone very Spartan with their official maps recently, so it's nice to have something like this. Okay, so as you arrive over the sill and into the room there, you see the interior here for the first time. So, it's a small office. There's a desk with a comfortable chair flanked by two cabinets, as you can see. On the wall, between both cabinets, is a bear's head trophy, is also there, above the chair. And there are two fancy bookcases flanking the door. On top of the desk, there are some blank parchments, an ink and quill, a book or two, and some candles.
Can I search the most obvious places for these like blueprints and also the the Jedrick's registry?
Yes, please give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Well, there are options here. You can make the investigation check or spend 10 minutes, like a full 10 minutes. Well, let's see if make the investigation check, and then if you fail, it will be, then the 10 minutes will be necessary.
Okay. That is an 18 investigation.
Okay, no, that is enough. Okay, so as you quickly, I think you have been in similar situations a few times before, and you have a good idea of where you need to be looking. And indeed, as you turn over the room here, you see that one of the cabinets there, let's say the one in the far corner, which is unlocked, does contain a set of blueprints for the fort and logs of previous service members retired.
I'm going to quickly shorthand down the names.
Okay.
And put those logs back.
Mm-hmm. You see, the blueprints were quite buried in there, so you don't think they would be missed.
Okay.
The logbook was like a book, so that's good to keep there. But
in which case, I will take the blueprints.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I needed the investigation check to find it. Yeah. Okay.
Can I look for any potential secret hiding places for things here?
Okay.
In like the desk, or maybe around like the bear's head.
You find that one of the drawers in the desk is locked. Intriguingly.
Can I lock pick it open?
Try it. Yep. Give me the thieves' tools.
Does a 16 cut it?
It does, indeed. Okay, in the locked drawer, you discover. Actually, sorry. This is my bad. The list of Jedricks is actually in this drawer.
Okay.
Sorry, this is mentioned here. So yeah, you find several documents, including a list of all former guards from Meth, the ones that got retired, quote unquote, after Charlotte took over, and the Lord's notes on the Jedricks. They're not up to date, but they're recent enough, and there's precise information about the current guards as well. You can find names, titles, ages, addresses, and comments about them. You think this might be just worth taking?
Yeah. Reese is just like, that's too much information. I need to take that. So yeah.
Yeah. There is also an official seal which could be useful in forging documents in the future.
Yes, I'm gonna steal that. There's no way I'm not.
Okay. And yeah, there are no valuables in here. You think they'd probably be up in like a private bedchamber or something, but that is probably everything of use.
Yep. Reese will attempt to relock the drawer and make his way back out the window, doing the same with the window.
Okay. The drawer I'll say is easy enough, but I think let's roll for the window because it's
Okay.
tricky to work through again.
That is another dirty 20. Thankfully.
Excellent. And last but not least, can I get a stealth check to see if you knock anything over?
Stealth check is 23.
Excellent.
Numbers are not my friend today.
That's okay. But your rogue skills are, apparently, so that's good.
Yeah. Rolling my best stats except for investigation.
Okay, so yeah, quietly and professionally you slip in, get all of this useful information, and then back out through the window and are able to reseal it. And take the usual precautions. I assume you're wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Alright, it goes without saying.
Always.
Yes. Okay. Now, Scuff.
Mm-hmm.
You are wrestling with this mercenary who is. You do notice. Yes, you actually get some information from this. They are very skilled with their abilities and grappling kind of things. So you are being pushed out of the door here. Arius and Lucy just sat on the sofas here, watching. No. I'm just going to move their tokens out of the way. So you are down here being pushed out towards the doors. What do you do?
He's gonna complain, but he understands that he's now the best option for him now is just to let him push him out.
Yeah.
Since he's caused the distraction, he's been looking to cause. He's gonna let him push him all the way outside, and then he's gonna just complain in the same way, saying things like, "My boss will hear of this."
Okay. Just for the sake of it, make an intimidation check with that threat.
Yeah, I'm actually good at this. That's a 9, so we're not very good at this.
He just scoffs at you. He's like, "Get out and don't come back."
No, I won't with that attitude.
Oh, poor us. Slam the door.
He's gonna brush himself off and saunter off.
And as you do, you see ahead of you down the street Reese also sauntering. And Luce and Arius scuttling.
Remember that we probably shouldn't be seen together.
Yes.
It's just gonna just nod and just head in direction.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. So,
I scuttle. I throw milk in people's faces. It's helpful.
Yeah, but Iris spiked the milk.
Ah.
okay,
There we
so
go.
heading off in various directions and looping around, you do eventually come back to Phenicus's house. And Reese, how do you show the others here?
Reese scatters everybody around like Therese and is like, I have a pretty good haul.
Nice.
Oh.
A bit too much information to really copy in a short time. But yeah,
Well, that
Therese,
seems it went pretty well then.
Therese beams.
Gav squints his eyes to this.
I knew I had the right people.
We did use magic in public, though.
Yeah, a lot of the citizens might have long-lasting damage, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's worth it.
They'll come around.
Were you seen?
Probably not.
Don't think so.
Be careful. Be careful. Scuff, you get some inspiration from Mac there. Thank you, Mac.
Oh, thank you, Mike. That's gonna come in handy.
Indeed. Okay. So, yes, congratulations, my friends. You have some very useful information. Now, there are other things that can be done to prepare for the things that need to be done towards the fortress here. But your next kind of actionable thing here is probably these names and this underground training that's going on. What is the deal there? We shall find out next time, as we are at that time of day here, where we do have to wend our way and say our goodbyes, I'm afraid. But a massive thank you to my lovely players and everyone who's joined us today. Thank you for the raids, the massive raid from Robert Hartley. Thank you so much. Those of you who stuck around after that, thank you for that. And those who have given us the bits and the follows, thank you so much as well. Now, we are going to do our giveaway in just a moment after we've said goodbye to these lovely people here. So please, if you would like to have your chance to win the fabulous CGRPG Cloud Caves. Hey, thanks for the follow. Please jump in. Thank you, Chaotic. Please jump in and !enter in chat like Baron Dragonborn has there. Thank you, Baron. For your chance to win. And we shall see who the lucky winner is as we get to the end of our goodbyes. So, my friends, thank you. Hi to you too. Welcome in. We are going to be leaving, and this is our final stream for this week. We don't have anything tomorrow. Our high seas, which should be dropping in tomorrow. We have some players away, off on their holidays, so we are going to be postponing that to the end of the month. So in 2 weeks, we'll have our next high seas episode. And yes, as it was revealed, it is a Spelljammer campaign. So you're very welcome, River. Thank you. And we will see you all next week. First and foremost, Tuesday is the final session of Rime of the Frost Maiden. The big finale as they battle against the demigoddess of Winter's Wrath on the streets of Goodmead. Please join us and support our brave adventurers if you are able, and see if they are going to be successful. Then that'll bring us around to our other campaigns, which are all going strong. Lots of dramatic things going on in Out of the Abyss, Barovia and beyond, and Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which will bring us around to next weekend where we have Candlekeep Mysteries. An absolute pleasure as always, my friends. Emma, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter or Discord as Emma City Art, and my
Link
commissions
in
are
chat.
open for a tiny bit longer, I think. If you want any art done, then message me on either place.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing some new art coming for
Yes.
us as well. Everyone, if you have given us a follow today, check your Twitch whispers in a short while, as I'll send you our followers Discord invitation, and you can get sneak peeks of the art that is coming out. Yeah, physical. Look at that physical art. Nice, nice.
Guys.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nice. It's you.
Hey. Excellent, beautiful stuff. So yes, we'll do first peeks of all new stuff in the Discord before it's released anywhere else. So jump on in there and share what's going on with you as well. Thank you very much indeed. Llama, how did that session 0 go? Do we have something in the works?
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
Excellent.
I've been getting the artwork going.
Mhm.
I'm waiting on the funds to make the intro work, but we're gonna start seeing stuff appearing tomorrow.
Fabulous.
I can't guarantee we'll go live at starting hours, but roughly around 10:30 a.m. European time tomorrow.
Okay. Fabulous, fabulous. Congratulations. I hope it is fabulous.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I hope.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
It's been a while since I've been streaming, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a time.
Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. All right. Thank you. Now, as we wrap up there, let us see who our lucky winner is going to be. I am closing up. Baron was the last one to jump in there. Closing up the entries. Okay, good luck everyone. CZRPG's Cloud Caves is winging its way to... Rufflejacks! Congratulations to you, my friend. Still double check you're still around. I believe so. Yes, still there. Hey, congratulations, Rufflejacks. That is going to be wending its way to you very, very soon. And I hope you enjoy the wonderful, wonderful design from CZRPG. If you did not win, do not fear. You can join us again next week, as we will have a new product from CZRPG being given away in each of our sessions. And we hope that you're able to join us for those. And especially for our finale will also have a giveaway for Troll Lord Games, so please do jump in and join us for that. Okay, one last shout out to the wonderful people at Phoenix Dice and Nathrax 3D Minis. There are our various friends there, and Troll Lord Games there as well. Please jump on over to there. And here is CGRPG's Patreon. And of course, those awesome coupon codes to get some nice discounts on wonderful D&D stuff over at our friends there. Do jump on in there, and we are going to head off raiding. Our good friend Kyle is actually, I don't know, has anyone checked that out? If anyone's the date of Squadron is just the end of the month. Yes, Dragon, it's going to be the 30th is the next High Seas episode. So not tomorrow. 2 weeks until the next one. Sorry for waiting. No problem, Baron. Okay, right, thank you, my friends. I wonder if Kyle is actually live or if it's just a rerun. Does anyone know? Has anyone popped over to see what Play Nerd Allies is doing? Well done, guys. That was some nicely executed heist shenanigans there.
That was good.
Yeah, works out.
The
works out
airing,
nicely.
yeah.
And Luce, Arius, don't worry. You're more than just a distraction.
Oh, thanks. We're also good cannon fodder too.
At least you did better than me, who had to channel a Karen.
Fine. We'll be alright.
Sorry, guys, we're bringing angsty backstories. That's what you got.
Can I say though, it's,
Balanced by the bizarre antics. Yeah.
since I work as a work within service, it's nice being on the other side of that counter, you know.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
I play progressively more angsty backstories. Started off okay.
Okay. I believe Kyle is still doing reruns of that stuff. So let's check out someone new. Let's check out an artist stream, which me being here in Japan is kind of drawn to the name here, Okami Kimono. So let's go and see what this wolf is up to. Their art going on there. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope to see you next week, and stick around for that raid. If you've got them, let those phoenixes fly. Butts, as we like to say around these parts. Oyasumi na sai. Oyasumi.